Hello, you're watching NewsX with me, Riya Dwivedi. Now let's take a look at the top story of the hour. Supreme Court has uploaded reports, photo and video with respect to the allegations of the discovery of unaccounted currencies at the home of Justice Yashwant Verma, sitting judge of the Delhi High Court. The inquiry report of the Delhi High Court Chief Justice and the response of Justice Verma have been made public. The controversy erupted after a fire at Justice Verma's office residence on March 14 led to the discovery of large quantity of cash. Meanwhile, Justice Verma expressed concerns about a potential conspiracy against him. In his formal response to the Chief Justice of India, he categorically denied any connection to the cash or knowledge of how it arrived in the storeroom. We will now go into the detail of the Delhi High Court Chief Justice's finding. But before, let's take a look at the inquiry report on your screens, viewers. This is the inquiry report. An incident of fire at one of the rooms within the premises of the bungalow occupied by Justice Yashwant Verma was reported to me by Mr. Sanjay Arora, Commissioner of Police, Delhi. I deem it appropriate to report the same to your good self. And on March 15th, while I was at Lucknow on account of holy vacations at around 4:50 p.m., I got a call from Mr. Sanjay Arora, Commissioner of Police, Delhi, informing about an incident of fire which broke out on 14th March at about 11:30 p.m. in a storeroom near the office at 30 Tughlaq Crescent, New Delhi, which has been allotted to Justice Yashwant Verma. These information have been redacted for confidentiality purpose, but meanwhile other details are saying that on receiving the said information from the Commissioner of Police, I spoke to your good self from on 15th March in the evening itself, and on your instructions I requested the Commissioner of Police, Delhi, to find out as to from which source the PCR call was made. I also called for certain other information from him, in response whereof the Commissioner of Police informed me on 16th March that PCR call was made by Personal Secretary to Justice Yashwant Verma from mobile number which has been redacted, which is registered in the name of the High Court of Delhi, and that the Personal Secretary to Justice Yashwant Verma was informed about the fire by one of the servants placed at the residence of the Honorable Judge. It has also been informed that the fire service was not informed separately, though once PCR was contacted, the information relating to fire was automatically sent to the Delhi Fire Service. The Commissioner of Police has also informed that the storeroom is adjacent to the guard room where CRPF is posted and that the storeroom used to be kept locked. I have also been informed that as per the security guard posted at the residence of the Honorable Judge, some debris and half-burnt articles were removed in the morning of 15th March. On receiving the information from the Commissioner of Police, Delhi, I instructed Registrar cum Secretary attached with me to visit the spot. He accordingly visited the residence of Justice Yashwant Verma, and on reaching there, he called Private Secretary to Justice Yashwant Verma to come out of the bungalow. He came out and took him to the Justice Yashwant Verma, who was sitting in his office. Justice Yashwant Verma visited the room where the fire had taken place, which is adjacent to the office, and accordingly prepared a report and submitted the same to me. So that's what you are getting to know at this point of time. And certain other informations also in response to the whereof the Commissioner of Police also informed him about the PCR call which was made, and they visited the spot, the residence of Yashwant Verma. Meanwhile, accordingly, they prepared a report and submitted the same to me. As per the said report, it was informed that the room was being used as a storeroom to keep useless article of household and remain accessible to all, and was not kept locked. In his report, it also mentions that on reaching the spot, he found out that it was completely dark inside the room and that the walls had developed cracks. The report further mentions that with the help of mobile phones, torch, and Justice Yashwant Verma had a look inside the room, and it was found that all the walls had gone black on the account of fire, and some material was hanging from the roof. and half-burnt articles were lying there, and further that burnt articles and debris were lying on the floor. They spent about 8 to 10 minutes in the room, and thereafter they came out. On reaching Delhi in the evening on 16th March, I immediately went to see your good self and apprised you of all that was reported to me. On being instructed by your good self, I contacted Justice Verma, who met me on 17th March in the morning at around 8:30 a.m. at Delhi High Court Guest House, where I am residing presently. Justice Verma responded by saying that in the room where the fire had broken out, only unusable household articles like some furniture and mattresses, etc. were kept. He also told that the room was accessible to the servants, the gardeners, and sometimes even to the CPWD personnel. He also informed me that at the time of the incident, he was in Bhopal and got the information from his daughter. And Justice Verma further told me at the moment that black burnt material is lying in the room, which is soot, and I thereafter showed him the photograph and the video on my WhatsApp, which were shared with me by the Commissioner of Police. He then expressed some apprehension about some conspiracy against him. So that's what he stated, that it's a conspiracy against him. And yesterday, on 20th March, as required by your good self, I had sent the photographs, the video, and 2 messages to you in the morning. I had received a communication from your good self yesterday evening intimating the proposal to represent the Justice Yashwant Verma to the High Court of Judicature at Allahabad. I immediately responded yesterday evening itself and expressed my view that since the proposal is in the interest of better administration of justice, I will go with the same. And on examining the incident, reported the material available and the response of Justice Yashwant Verma, what I find is that the Commissioner of Police in his report dated 16th March has reported that as per the guard posted at the residence of Justice Yashwant Verma, the debris and other partially burnt articles were removed from the room where the fire had broken out in the morning of 15th March. The inquiry conducted by me prima facie does not reveal possibility of entry or access to the room by any other person other than those residing in the bungalow, the servants, the gardeners, the CPWD personnel, if any. And accordingly, I am of the prima facie opinion that the entire matter warrants a deeper probe. So that is what Devendra Kumar Upadhyay has written. And when we are getting deeper into that, let's take a look at other details that are coming in. Under directions of Honorable the Chief Justice, I visited the official residence of Honorable Mr. Justice Yashwant Verma at 30 Tughlaq Crescent, New Delhi on 15th March at around 9:10. And on reaching there, I called the private secretary to the Honorable Judge, who was requested by me to come to the bungalow. He came out and took me to the judge who was sitting in his office. So these are the details that are coming in terms of that. We have with us KV Dhananjay, lawyer, Supreme Court, Advocate Manaswi Thapar, political analyst, Sanjay K. Chadha, lawyer, Supreme Court, Sanjay Sahai, former IPS, Sanjay Rana, lawyer, Supreme Court, Harsh Singh Dahiya, lawyer, Supreme Court, joining us on the telecast. Thank you so much for joining us on the telecast. First of all, I'd like to go to Mr. Dahiya in terms of the details that are coming into this case. It's an unprecedented move by Supreme Court. They have given these details out in the public for a matter of transparency after this controversy erupted. What do you make out of this move? All right, I'll pose that question to Sanjay Sahai, former IPS. Sanjay Sahai, we've seen that this is I'll pose this question to you as well. It's an unprecedented move that has taken place. Supreme Court has released these videos, photos of this pile of cash that can be seen. It's out in the public. What do you make out of this move of Supreme Court amidst all of this controversy that is going on?
I think earlier also instances of corruption with regards to judges have come out in the public domain, but nothing of the nature which we have seen in this particular case. And the whole discussion which was happening in the public domain, I think keeping that in mind and the nature of questions being raised regarding Justice Verma, it was in the fitness of things, and Chief Justice of India and the Supreme Court acted appropriately to put the whole report in the public domain so that most of this suspicion is is put to rest. Primarily, there is an understanding that people inside the judiciary will help and support the people who come from their ilk and their clan. So that certainly had to be put to rest. And I think this has been the best way to put to rest whatever doubts we had, plus that the process is fair and transparent. Thirdly, which never happens in the judicial process, might be the first time, that they are sharing every single development. From the point in time where the security guard informed Sanjay Arora, who is Delhi Police Commissioner, till the time the whole thing was handed over to Delhi uh, High Court Chief Justice, and the whole process has been very, very neatly defined. And suffice to say, they are going on a purely investigative line, though it is not being investigated by the police for reasons of immunity of high court judges and the judiciary. I think the whole thing is being done in a purely professional and a scientific manner. They have reached a stage where the Delhi High Court Chief Justice is of the opinion that it needs a deeper probe. There might be one or two details on which we would like to differ, but the point is the direction is very crystal clear. It is in tune with the sentiment of this country, and this particular incident has been a blot on judicial administration and democracy of the nation, and this has to be taken as a watershed moment. Otherwise, if we slip down this line, we don't know where we will end up. So, judicial propriety is also required, and immunity is also required. And whatever the honorable judge has been talking about of conspiracy around that, I think the High Court Chief Justice would have looked into it, at least at the prima facie basis. And when it moves to a the three-panel frame of reference is precisely that what is done in a very detailed investigation. And the concerned judge has been asked not to tamper with any of the evidence and what is the nature of evidence which will be required, the way they will go ahead. So all that is very neatly put out. The timeline is missing. That's the only thing. But otherwise, I think putting into the public domain, putting the details and what can be appreciated the most, that the video and pictures are also there. So I think that gives us a very clear-cut feeling, because last 2-3 days, 21st, 22nd, I think today is 23rd only, since the time the TUI report came. I think everybody was trying to think that there is something happening and it is a black box sort of inquiry which is happening. But within 2 days, what came in the public domain last night when the things were posted on the website, I think it is very, very welcoming, and we are hopeful that it will go in the right direction and whatever is required will be done. Whether criminal investigation will happen or not happen, I think that will be at the end of this particular report which will be submitted. There is a in-house report. There are 7 different stages, so it will go through that process. And as we move further, we can discuss those things also.
I'd